Hello, I am Renee Forsyth, and I lead the First Year Experience program for Pima Community College. And one of our initiatives under the FYE umbrella is Popcorn with the Program. And if you're watching this video, that means that you have agreed to be a SME or subject matter expert for one of our upcoming events. And I want to thank you. These are not possible without support from those like you, our fellow faculty, staff, administration, and clubs who are related to the featured program of the month. So if we were on campus, I would have been providing you this orientation in person, but since everything is virtual right now, so is this overview to help make sure that you are fully prepared for the event. So let's get started. So a bit of history and how this event came to be. It started in 2017 as a new initiative under the First Year Experience program. It started off at West Campus only, but in 2018, it, along with all of our other FYE events, grew to be hosted college-wide and also online. We follow a rotation where we feature a different meta major each month, and it takes about 2 years to get through that rotation in featuring all of the meta majors at Pima, and we host 3 events each semester. To date, we have served over 2,100 students, and we look forward to growing that number this fall. Now, if you have not been to one of these events previously, a brief description of how it operates. I'm going to describe it as it operated when it was on campus, because when we pivoted and redesigned things for virtual, we followed this format. So it is designed to be a casual tabling environment with upbeat music, fresh popcorn, something that is not intimidating for students to approach and learn from. So students are welcome to visit one, some, or all of the tables to meet the support team related to the featured program of the month. So for instance, the support team is a trifecta, as we like to call it, of advisors. That includes Pima's advisors as well as Transfer University partners. And then also our faculty and deans related to the program. And last but not least, a related student life clubs. We have found that students oftentimes will create a club as it relates to their major so that they can get to know and work together with fellow peers. Now, at each of these events, there are drawing prizes that students have the opportunity to win. These are tied to our co-curricular survey, which not only measures attendance, but also student feedback, and also to ensure that we are achieving our learning objectives. And if you would like to see some samplings from past events, follow this link for our pop-up Popcorn with the programs. This was how we ensured that the program was online. We would live stream interviews from the event featuring a different table topic or SME so that students could still learn from the event even if they were not able to attend in person or if they wanted to go back afterwards and re-watch the recorded video library. So again, as I had already mentioned, we used that format to pivot as we rescheduled things for virtual this fall. So this is an agenda and an outline of how the events will operate. We ask that all of our subject matter experts log into Zoom at 10:30 a.m. This allows time for you to test and troubleshoot the technology. Now, when you receive a confirmation email from me, you will have a specific Zoom room link included in that email. And that is the link that I want you to follow because it will be to your specific Zoom room topic. So if you're an advisor, it's going to take you to the advising room. Optional, if you would like, you may use a second device to log into the main Zoom room. That link is what is being advertised on all of the flyers and social media, and that is only if you want to be part of the welcome. By no means do you have to, and if you're worried about getting confused and clicking the wrong link or using more than one device, don't worry about bullet 2 and just focus on logging into that assigned Zoom link that I send you in your confirmation email. At 11 o'clock, I will do welcome and introductions for any students who have logged in at that point. Keep it brief, and by 11:10, I will share with them in the chat box the links to the breakout rooms, and then they can pick and choose which rooms they want to visit, very similar to how they would pick which tables they wanted to visit on campus. So by 11:10, you should see students begin to populate your link. more about what the content will be within that momentarily, but you will see that we are following 20-minute rotation cycles. There will be 5 of them from 11:10 until 12:30. Now you may be thinking, are there going to be 5 Zoom room links? More on that to follow, but we wanted to make sure that we gave students plenty of time to be able to visit as many rooms as possible, even repeat visit if they needed to, or also be able to log in late but still have time to rotate through and visit as many links or rooms as possible. At 12:50, for any students or SMEs who are still present, you are welcome to log back into the main room at that point, in which case I will do closing and remind students about opportunities to win prizes and sign off for the event. So a breakdown in how the event will operate. Again, as I mentioned at the beginning, I will be the host, and in that main Zoom room, I will welcome students and explain how the event will operate. Now, one of the key things is that we will still be using the co-curricular survey to still track the attendance, collect feedback, and measure our objectives. That link to the survey will be shared with them repeatedly at the end of each rotation so that they are reminded to complete it. Students only need to complete it once though, so if they've already done it, they're good and they're done for the event. And completion of that survey does enter them in a drawing to win a prize, which will be selected after the event is over, and the winner will be contacted by student email, and then we will mail them through the post their prizes. Now again, as I mentioned, students are welcome to visit one, some, or all of the Zoom room links. There will be 4 of them. One which will feature our advising, another one which will feature our student life clubs, and then because there are so many program faculty related to each meta major, we will divide them into 2 different rooms. Now, as was already explained, each cycle will be 20 minutes long. So what takes place within each of those rotations? For the first 10 to 15 minutes, we want you, the SMEs, to be teaching the basic tips of your topics. So what are some of the frequently asked questions for your program or from you in your role? What is it that you want new or current students to learn from you? And then for the second 5 to 10 minutes, that will be reserved for Q&A with the students so that they have an opportunity to ask any questions that they came to the event with or that came up in their mind as they were listening to your presentation. If it's crickets, we will have some probing questions to prompt and spark conversation on the slides. And keep in mind that depending on the number of SMEs that are in your room, you may have 2 to 5 minutes to present. So while you individually will have 2 to 5 minutes, collectively the group of SMEs in your Zoom room will have the 10 to 15 minutes to present. Again, reminder that students may come and go throughout each 20-minute cycle, so your room may be empty at times, but even if so, we ask you to please continue teaching as if there were students in the room. That way everybody stays on time and everybody still is able to get through their presentations without starting late and then everyone having to really rush through it super quick. Also, this allows us to have multiple recording options for us to edit later into a video. So preparation responsibilities. What are ours and what are yours? So us with the planning committee, we will be preparing the Zoom rooms, the links, and making sure that the moderators are trained in what to do. And then we will also be developing background Google Slides. You're welcome to click on that link. And in those slides, we'll be, for each room, presenting the SMEs with their name, title, and contact information. And then there will be a second slide with those probing prompt questions. Now, your responsibilities as the subject matter expert are to prepare your talking points. Again, please make sure that they are 2 to 5 minutes long. And recommended talking points are everything from your program, your role and responsibilities, frequently asked questions that you often receive, and then optional, if you want to do more than just speak, but you would like to create some teaching tools, whether those be slides, videos, or handouts, you are welcome to do so. please make sure that you share those with me in advance so that I can also make sure that they are accessible to the students after the event. Students who complete that co-curricular survey will be receiving a Google Shared folder with all of the teaching tools, videos, and or handouts that are shared during the event itself. Now, when it comes to Zoom technology, especially for our virtual events, I understand that that may be the biggest source of stress. So I wanted to walk you through what the expectations are. For you as a SME, your main and primary expectation is to know how to be able to rename your Zoom profile to your preferred name and pronouns. So example, if I was renaming mine, I would name it Renee Forsyth, parentheses, she, hers. Please follow that same format. Now, as was previously mentioned, each Zoom room will have a moderator who is trained in how to manage the lion's share of technology, and they will also be monitoring and responding to the chat box. Now, they will be responsible for sharing those basic background slides and toggling back and forth between the two slides of the SME contact information and the probing questions. Now, where there is the option is if you do choose to develop slides, videos that you want shared while you are speaking. Option 1, you can either share those yourselves and the moderator, option 1, you can either share those to me in advance and then the moderator will be your Vanna White, if you will, and they will present and cue those and toggle them back and forth for you while you speak. That's option 1. Option 2 is that you can be in control of your own slides, and what will happen is the moderator makes you co-host when it is your time to speak, and then you will just need to know how to share your screen and share those teaching tools. And also at the same time, remember to close caption your slides so that they are accessible for all participants. Now, this link here is a tutorial for how to use the Zoom technology. And so we ask you to please watch that from the beginning until minute marker 3:40, and that will teach you all of these basics, from how to rename your Zoom profile, to how to share your screen, close caption them, so on and so forth. Now, to make sure that you are fully prepared for the event, we ask you to do the following. Please follow these hyperlinks and make sure that you are fully prepared in how to do each of these steps. Then make sure that you prepare your talking points, again 2 to 5 minutes long. Optional, if you do choose to develop slides, video, and or handouts, please make sure that you share them with me in advance. Of course, if you have questions, do not be shy. Please do not hesitate to ask me. And last but not least, eat popcorn and have fun. You are welcome, if not even encouraged, to have that bowl of popcorn ready beside you. We're going to be encouraging students to do the same. But most of all, have fun. These events are meant to be engaging and exciting for students. And now more than ever, they are seeking and craving those relationships and ability to network and work with people. So please let me know if you have any questions. We appreciate you and your support for this event, and I look forward to working with you soon. Take care.